Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. This is episode 132. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne. It's great to be here.
Today we're looking at some really fresh material. It's specifically for you if you're an active documentation specialist, maybe a technical writer, or an IT professional.
Exactly. If you're looking for guidance from people who are, currently leading the industry.
Right. And we're zeroing in on this brand new article. It's actually from our own producer, Kurt Robbins. He's a senior technical writer himself.
Okay.
The article's called 10 Inspiring Technical Writers, just published September 20, 2025.
Okay, inspiring. So the focus here is really on people active today, right? Dealing with 2025 tech challenges, leading the way now.
That's precisely it. If you want actual practical career guidance, this is probably where you should be looking.
Makes sense. So let's maybe unpack the why behind this list first. I understand there was some background with a previous article he wrote.
Yeah, exactly. He had an earlier piece, I think it was 10 famous technical writers. Popular, but it drew some criticism.
Right, I remember hearing about that. The criticism was that it featured, famous figures, but many were retired or just not actively writing anymore.
That's the one. Historically important, sure, but maybe not the best source for advice on, say, adopting AI tools or modern Docs as Code stuff.
Which is fair enough. If you're starting out or even mid-career, you need role models who are visibly learning and adapting right now.
Yeah.
Tech changes so fast.
Absolutely. And Robbins apparently took that feedback to heart. He mentioned wanting to advocate for lifelong learning humility. And that means highlighting people who are actually doing it, adapting as technology shifts. So this list is kind of his modern take on mentorship for the community.
A curated list of active role models. Got it.
And one quick thing before we dive into the names, he does have a small ask. The content's free, no paywalls.
Okay.
But he asks that, as a sort of small price for this material, that listeners just repost it, maybe like it, comment. Standard engagement stuff.
The algorithm dance. Makes sense. In today's world, that kind of engagement really helps valuable niche content like this actually get seen.
Exactly. Okay, so let's start with the people who are really building the community fabric, the advocates focusing on support, education, and we're starting globally here.
Right. First up is Ramesh Iyengar, based in India. He manages TechWrite Pro.
Okay.
What stands out is he's not just talking about community, he's building the infrastructure. He organizes these big online events, webinars. He even founded the Institute for Technical Communicators of India.
Wow. Okay, so he's really creating structures.
Yes, and translating that into real support. He set up the Technical Communicators Mentoring Program. The goal, he says, is explicitly to empower technical communicators.
That directly addresses that earlier feedback, doesn't it? Providing actual paths for skills development.
It really does. Then shifting over to Germany, we have Tanja Lorber. She's a senior technical editor and manager.
Tanja Lorber. Okay, what's her angle?
Her approach is interesting. It's this kind of professional positivity, but it's grounded in really insightful educational blog posts. It's not just be positive. She reframes common challenges.
I think we might have mentioned her work before. Something about hearing crickets as a technical writer.
Yes, that's the one. Why hearing crickets as a technical writer is a good thing.
Right. So for listeners who put docs out there and hear nothing back, what's the core idea? That silence is good.
Sort of, yeah. The insight is, if you release documentation and get 0 questions, 0 complaints, 0 tickets, maybe it's not because no one read it. Maybe it's because the docs were so clear, so complete that users didn't need to ask anything. The crickets become proof of success, not failure.
Okay. Flipping the script on feedback, or lack thereof, that's a really valuable perspective shift.
It really is. It changes how you measure quality. Then looking towards Nigeria, there's Peace Sandy. She's described as a promising software developer and technical writer.
Developer and writer, okay. Also focusing on positivity and community.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme. But what's highlighted is her versatility. The list mentions technical articles, API docs, tutorials, manuals, release notes.
Wow, quite the range.
Exactly. She kind of exemplifies that modern technical writer, even early on, needs that broad skill set, especially in diverse software environments.
Okay, so we've got community builders, strategic thinkers. Where do we go next? Maybe into more specialized areas?
Sounds good. But first,
let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. We're continuing our look at Kurt Robbins' list of 10 inspiring technical writers.
And now we're shifting focus a bit, moving into the really specialized world of API and developer documentation.
Right, critical area these days. Who's up first?
Robert Delwood, based in Chicago. His background is interesting. He's both a programmer and a lead API documentation expert.
That dual skill set seems increasingly important.
Absolutely. He argues really strongly that developer documentation isn't just another writing task, it's a specialty. And if you treat it as an afterthought,
It gets neglected.
yeah, he says it will inevitably be underproduced. There's a great quote from him mentioned in the article.
Oh, yeah.
Client developers will solve their problems with or without you. It's my job to make sure they'll do it with you.
That really sums up the whole developer advocacy mindset, doesn't it? It's about enabling success with your tools.
Exactly. It ties documentation directly to business value, developer adoption. If your docs aren't integrated into that developer experience, you lose them. Delwood's work seems focused on embedding docs into that engineering workflow.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, who else in the API space?
Hopping across the pond to London, we have Wisdom Nuokocha. His nickname is apparently the Docs Guru.
The Docs Guru. Okay, high praise. What's his specialty?
Senior technical writer, also a software engineer, again specializing in API and developer documentation.
Under dual threat.
Right. The article highlights his active support for mentoring, seems to be another theme, and also his advocacy for open source.
Open source. Documentation is absolutely critical there, often the only support.
Precisely. So his contribution seems to be about ensuring developer docs are not just accurate, but also follow best practices for contribution, for scalability, making complex open source projects accessible globally. Standardization is key there.
Got it. So from community building and API specs, let's talk about modern practices, how documentation gets done effectively in big organizations today.
Okay. First up is Anne Gentle out of Austin, a real veteran in the field. Her key contribution mentioned is authoring docs like code.
Docs like code. Okay, that's a foundational text for many. What's the core idea there for those maybe less familiar?
It's fundamentally about shifting away from traditional, maybe document-centric workflows towards using developer tools and processes. Think version control like Git,
Right, good.
automated builds, static site generators, treating documentation more like software itself.
So it's not just writing in Markdown, it's the whole infrastructure around it.
Exactly. It allows documentation teams to keep pace with faster development cycles, like continuous delivery. Her mission is stated as empowering teams to use docs and learning to enhance developer outcomes.
Linking docs directly to engineering results.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Very. Next, Steve Ahrens in Vermont. He specializes in docs as code, but also Madcap Flare, so bridging maybe newer and more traditional approaches.
Interesting combo. What else stands out about him?
The article mentions his insightful writing on, well, timely topics like AI's impact on technical writing and also practical stuff like managing subject matter experts, SMEs.
Always a challenge.
Always. But Robbins also notes his distinct personality, a dry and snarky sense of humor, especially when talking about recruiters or hiring practices.
Okay. Does that kind of pointed commentary actually help, you think, in advocating for the profession?
You know, I think it sometimes can. It cuts through corporate spick. It's memorable. When you're fighting for resources or respect for the documentation function, sometimes that kind of, well, real talk gets attention where a formal request might not. It challenges bad habit.
Keeps things honest. Okay, moving on, we have Jule Wolf in Vancouver. The description here is enterprise heavyweight, 30-plus years experience.
Yeah, and across some really complex regulated industries. Property management, mining, medical, finance.
Wow, that kind of tenure across diverse, high-stakes fields that speaks volumes about understanding process and compliance.
Definitely. She's bringing, as the article puts it, a rare blend of editorial expertise and operational know-how. She understands not just what good docs look like, but how to implement and maintain them in complex, real-world organizations without breaking things.
Deep operational knowledge, that's invaluable. And rounding out this section, Anna Zernova, from Ukraine.
Her focus is software documentation, user guides, both internal and external. What's noted is her tool flexibility.
What tools?
The list includes Google Docs, Confluence, Markdown, even Doc2Help. A real mix.
So the key takeaway there is adaptability.
I think so, yes. Instead of pushing her favorite tool, she adapts to the company's existing processes and tools. That shows strategic maturity, right? Understanding that success often means working with the systems you inherit, even if they're not perfect, mitigating that organizational friction.
Being tool agnostic but process aware. That's
Yeah.
a really valuable skill, especially in larger places. Which leads us nicely into maybe our final example of versatility.
Sounds right. Raghuram Pandurangan, based in India,
Okay.
20 plus years of experience. He's highlighted as a senior manager focusing on overall documentation strategy.
Strategy, so higher level.
Yeah, things like evaluating and adopting authoring tools, and really crucially, automating workflows, especially for review and publishing.
Automation is huge. His specialization areas are listed as healthcare IT and construction IT. Those are demanding.
Very highly regulated, high stakes. But look at the range of his output. API docs, user guides, service manuals, even instructional videos.
So how does he manage that breadth across such demanding fields? Unified content strategy.
That's got to be it. That single source of truth, right? Content that can be transformed for different audiences and formats, from a developer needing an API reference to a technician needing a quick video guide. He seems to exemplify bridging that tactical execution with overarching strategy.
Okay, so stepping back and looking at this whole list, it's incredibly diverse. Geographically, skill set-wise.
It really is. India, Germany, Nigeria, the US, UK, Canada, Ukraine. Specialists, generalists, community builders, strategists.
So the big takeaway for you, the listener, is
I think it's that technical communication is alive, it's global, it's diverse, and it's evolving. These aren't historical figures. These are people providing specific, useful knowledge right now, if you consider yourself a lifelong learner in this field.
this is your reading list.
Pretty much, yeah. This is who you should be paying attention to.
And just to circle back quickly to the list author, Kurt Robbins. He's a veteran too, 30+ years, mostly a generalist.
Yeah, the notes say focus areas like SOPs, process flows, courseware, white papers, that kind of broad background.
And he brings that perspective to his views on the future, like AI.
He does. He apparently believes strongly that AI is going to fundamentally change the technical writer's job, shifting it maybe from pure content creation towards more curation, strategy, information architecture.
Makes sense. Overseeing the AI, ensuring quality and coherence.
Exactly. And apparently, he's also a fierce advocate for the Oxford comma.
Huh. Well, some things are timeless battles, right?
But seriously, this list provides a really valuable snapshot of where the industry is today, the people defining its future.
It does. And it leaves you with a thought, maybe. If AI handles the technical accuracy but struggles with nuance, style, voice, maybe that Oxford comma isn't just grammar. Maybe becomes the ultimate sign of human authorship. Something to think about as you check out these writers.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.